Okay, we're going to learn how to read the note names on the bass clef. In order to do that, we're going to talk about the musical alphabet, how to go up and down the musical alphabet, forwards and backwards. We're going to learn about the lines and the spaces on the bass clef. That's called the staff. And then we're going to learn about how to put the musical alphabet onto that staff and how it works. And then we're going to learn some fun little tricks to remember some of the lines and spaces notes. So let's start with the musical alphabet. Okay, you all know the English alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. All right, we know that. My 2-year-old can say that alphabet, although it's not always correct, and sometimes the letters get jumbled. But, the musical alphabet is easier than the English alphabet because it's just 7 letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. There is no H in music, right? We would not do an H. Okay, so once you get to G, instead of going on to H, you have to start back over at A. So after G is A, then B, then C, then D, then E, then F, then G, right? And it could continue up. Notice that as I'm writing this, I'm writing it going up. Okay, I want it to be going up the musical alphabet. So you'll know. Wow, that was something kind of funny that happened right there. As the musical alphabet goes up, the sound of the notes go higher too. So it'll be like A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G, right? It would keep going higher and higher. Well, that's the musical alphabet forwards, but we also need to learn how it works backwards. Okay, so you need to start to memorize how to say that backwards. You would say G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Say it with me and look at those letters. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Right? And so we need to know how to do it forwards and backwards. Okay? Try to memorize that and try to make a little song about it. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Now we need to learn about how to write music and what a staff is. So the staff is made up of lines and spaces. Do you know how many lines there are? There are 5. So I'm going to draw those right now. Did you notice that I was starting at the bottom and I'm going to the top? 4th line, 5th line. There's 5 lines, just like you have 5 fingers, and it goes from the bottom to the top. It's the opposite of reading a book. So bottom line, 1st line, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, 5th line, right? If we were to label those lines, I would put it as line number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, okay? Those are the 5 lines. I like to do this with my hand a lot, okay? Line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a good way to think about it because most of us have 5 fingers. And so those are the lines. In between the lines, there are spaces. And again, we go from the bottom to the top. Space number 1, space number 2, space number 3, and space number 4. On my hand, that would be space number 1, space number 2, space number 3, and space number 4. Okay? We count from the bottom to the top. And those are the lines and spaces. So that's the staff. That's what the staff is. Let's learn how the bass clef fits on the staff. The bass clef looks like this. It's like a sideways frowny face. Kind of looks like a sideways frowny face. And this is called an F clef. That's what the name, it's called the bass clef, but the bass clef is a type of F clef. And you should memorize that. And the way that you know where F is those 2 little dots are surrounding the note F. Okay? So this would be, right, I see these 2 little dots right here that I just accidentally dotted next to. That's on either side of the F line. So you see the 2 dots are in this top space and the next space down. That would mean that is the F line. Okay, so let's mark that. Let's put an F right here. That's the F line. And we know that remember, as the musical alphabet goes up, the notes get higher and we go up that musical alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, the next place up would be G. What's after G? We would start over at A. And then what's after A? We could have a B. A B would just rest on the very top there. Remember I said you need to have it memorized going backwards? Well, let's go backwards. B, A, G, F. What's before F? G, F, E, and then D, C, B, A, G, F. There'd be an F right below that bottom line. So as the musical alphabet goes up, the notes get higher. And as the musical alphabet goes down, the notes get lower. And that's how it works. Okay? That is how the musical alphabet fits onto the staff, those 5 lines and 4 spaces. Okay? Now, let's learn. Oh, and you got to be able to do that going forward. Let's go backwards too. We just went up, forwards. Let's keep going as long as we have space. There's a B right here. So one below a B would be an A. What's below an A? A G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. And I wouldn't have space for an F below it. Okay? So a lot of people like to do that. That's a great way to know. If you know the F clef, the bass clef, and you know that that those 2 dots are surrounding the F line, you could find any other note. And that's a fantastic way to know how to know your note names. Some other people, and you might have done this in elementary school maybe, some people like to learn it in a different way. And we'll go over that by kind of learning a little saying. Okay? And you might have done the treble clef one in elementary school. That more often happens. But let's learn a bass clef one. Okay, we got our 5 lines and our 4 spaces. We have our bass clef right there. One way that people like to do that is to memorize the line. The bottom line is a G. So they remember good boys do fine always. You know, the treble clef one is every good boy deserves fudge. This one is good boys, or I actually like to say good bands, because we're in band class. Good bands deserve fudge always. So G, B, D, F, and A. And then the way I like to remember the spaces, here's the space notes, A, C, E, G. Some people like to think ace G, and that's fine. I like to think all cows eat grass. I used to say all cars eat gas, but now there's cars that don't eat gas. So I like to think all cows eat grass. Some people like to say all cows eat gas, but I don't think that would go well. I don't want to eat a burger from a cow who's had gas. Or, you know, let's not even talk about gas. We need to get off the topic of gas, okay? So you could create your own little limerick or your own little acronym that helps you remember those. And, you know, that's great. Whatever helps you is fantastic. So, but then also you'll notice the musical alphabet fits on here. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, there could be a B up there, and it can keep going. So you got to know your musical alphabet. You got to know the staff, the lines, the spaces, the bass clef. The bass clef is an F clef. And you got to start to really know that stuff super easy. You should be able to go, you know, that's an E. This right here is an F. That right there is an A. This right here is a D. This right here, that's an A. You need to be able to know your note names that fast. And it takes time, but you'll get it. Okay? That's how you read notes on a musical staff.